All right, let's talk about something that's both super exciting and, let's be honest, kind of terrifying for any company. That big strategic crossroads. That one moment where a single decision can literally change everything. So, yeah, let's get right into it. It's a funny thing, right? You grind and you work so hard to be successful, you finally hit that incredible growth spurt, and bam, suddenly you're staring down the barrel of the toughest choices you've ever had to make. It turns out success doesn't make things easier at all, it just makes the stakes way higher. Okay, so to really see what this looks like in the real world, let's talk about a company called Premier Home Solutions. They are the perfect case study here, a business that basically did everything right, and now they're at this massive turning point. So, Premier started out as your classic run of the mill regional hardware store chain. But their leadership saw the writing on the wall. They saw the market shifting and they went all in on tech. We're talking a brand new, cutting edge e commerce platform, complete with virtual consultants. And let me tell you, it worked big time. Just how well did it work? Well, get this. They saw a roughly 40% year-over-year jump in digital revenue. I mean, that is just explosive growth. It's all the proof you need that their big bet on digital paid off in a huge way. And it's not just about the money either. The momentum is real. Their website traffic shot up by about 23% in the last year alone. So more and more people are showing up, and believe me, they are not just window shopping. Nope, they are buying. Their average order size is sitting pretty at around $315. So Premier has totally proven they can bring in and convert some really high-value customers online. The business is healthy, it's profitable, it's growing like crazy, so what's the problem here? Well, the problem, if you can call it that, is that their own success has pushed them right up to what we call a strategic inflection point. This is that critical moment where all the old rules, the things that got you here, they just don't apply anymore. You absolutely have to make a fundamental change in your strategy to keep going. The path that got them to this point, well, it's not going to be the path that takes them to the next level. So, yeah, even with all that success, you can imagine the mood in Premier's boardroom is tense. Because when they look at the map, they see four completely different paths forward, and they have to pick one. All right, so here are their options. Path one is to go all in, just double down on national e-commerce. The risk? Spreading themselves way too thin. Path two, start buying up their regional competitors. The problem there is they could get distracted and lose their innovative edge. Path three is a big one. Jump into the booming smart home market. Super high growth for sure, but totally unproven territory for them. And finally, path four. They could go back to their roots and revive their old school in-person services. It plays to what they know, but is it really embracing the future? Okay, so this might sound like a problem just for a home improvement company, right? But this kind of high-stakes choice, it's absolutely universal. It happens in every industry. We're talking finance, tech, even demon slaying. Just look at Meridian Capital, this super aggressive asset management firm. They're looking at a massive opportunity in defense tech. But here's the catch. It completely clashes with the ethical standards their clients expect. So their choice boils down to maximizing returns or upholding their values. It's that classic profit versus principles dilemma. Or how about a tech startup like FriendHive? The story goes their founder was accused of, let's say, borrowing some ideas to launch this huge social media platform at lightning speed. And that's the textbook move fast and break things crossroads, isn't it? Do you go for that super fast launch, even if you know it means taking on massive legal and reputational risk later on? And yeah, even in a fictional world, the Demon Slayer Corps deals with this constantly. They've got finite resources, a limited number of fighters, not enough time. But their strategic goal is, well, it's overwhelming. Save all of humanity. So their crossroads is always about how you prioritize those precious, limited resources when you're up against an existential threat. See, at the end of the day, these moments are about so much more than just business tactics. They force an organization to look in the mirror and answer the big question. Who are we, really? Are we an aggressive growth machine? Are we an ethical leader? A nimble innovator? The choice you make ends up defining your very identity. So, okay, the stakes are sky high. How on earth does a leader find any clarity? Well, here's the thing. It's not about pulling a magic answer out of a hat. It's about asking the right questions. And we've kind of boiled them down to a simple framework that really any organization can use. First up, and this is the big one, what is our core identity? For a company like Meridian Capital, this question is the entire decision. Are they that aggressive, opportunistic firm they've always been known as? Or are they becoming something new, a firm that puts ethical investing first? The answer to that one question pretty much guides everything that comes next. Question number 2. Are we building on a proven strength, or are we just chasing a shiny new thing? I mean, this is Premier's whole dilemma, right? Pushing hard on national e-commerce is building on what they're already great at, their digital game. But jumping into the smart home space, that's exciting for sure, but it's chasing the novelty. It's a market where they have zero track record. Third, you've got to ask about the true cost. And I am not just talking about what shows up on the balance sheet. For FriendHive, that short-term victory of a quick launch came with a huge long-term price tag, a trashed reputation, and endless legal fights. So you have to ask, what are the hidden costs of the path we're thinking about? And finally, the fourth question is about thinking ahead. How does this choice we make today strengthen our core for the next challenge that's inevitably coming? The Demon Slayer core can't just think about winning the next fight. They have to make choices that ensure they have the strength, the people, the resources, the will to actually win the whole war. It's all about building that long-term resilience. So when you put all of that together, you start to realize something really important. Getting through one of these strategic crossroads, it's not actually about finding the single right answer, because most of the time, there isn't one.
The real value is in the process. Step 1, you have to define your potential paths with just brutal honesty. Then, step 2, you test every single one of those paths against our core questions: identity, strength, cost, and resilience. And finally, step 3, you commit. You pick a direction and you go for it with everything you've got.
Because look, at the end of the day, this isn't about being a fortune teller. Nobody can perfectly predict which path is going to be the most successful. The real goal here is to choose a path that builds a strategy and an identity that is tough enough, resilient enough to handle whatever the future decides to throw your way. And that really leaves us with one final thought for you. It doesn't matter if you're leading a massive company, a small team, or just trying to figure out your own career. You will face these crossroads. So the next time you find yourself standing at one, what are you actually solving for? Is it growth, stability, identity? Because the quality of your answer is always going to start with the quality of your question.